everybody. Jade is here. Come on. Come here. Whoa. Can you see my candle? All right. There we go. I've been playing with my hair. I'm trying to find a style. This is in homage to the gorgeous Veronica Lake, who I noticed when I was a teenager. And she had this gorgeous long peekaboo hairstyle, you know, with the, sometimes her hair looked longer, other times it looked shorter. And I would like to have a style. Now, when my hair was thick and black and wavy, I didn't have the courage to have the sultry peekaboo hairstyle. But now that I'm older, you know, I'd like to be able to have it at least for videos. I'd be a little overdressed if I went to Walmart or Walgreens. But I just saw a movie called I Married a Witch. And so I had already kind of decided. I've tried this look before when I had my website for my skin salon. But yeah, I mean, I just watched that movie now for about an hour and 15 minutes. I don't know if I've ever seen it before. Have you seen it? But I think it was well done. They used some special effects for the spirits of the witches that look like the genie smoke, you know, moving around in I Dream of Jeannie for the father and the daughter. And she tried to cast a spell on him, but she drank the potion and she fell in love with him. And I only caught that part because I was listening while I was doing my hair. So, yeah, but I want to have kind of my own style, really. I don't think anybody really cares much what they look like anymore. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I'm here today to talk about some new health obsessions, or actually some revisiting of some knowledge that I've already heard. Ooh, okay. About oils. I think that when my hair doesn't have hair oil in it, I'll look like I have more hair. I've learned, or I've heard, that olive oil in the stores is not really olive oil. I mean, I've heard a lot of stuff that's awful and corrupt in this world. But I mean, just to hear that there might be some kind of God only knows what, and just a small portion of olive oil, I thought, geez Louise, you know, I'm fighting an uphill battle. Everything I do, all my supplements and my hormones and my vitamins, and, you know, it's like, I don't want to be putting any more fake stuff or toxic stuff in my body. So I just made a short, and it's already gotten like 111 views. I got to make more shorts, or this channel's going to die. There's some videos I kind of want to delete anyway, but I took myself to Panera, and after that I went across to another store there in the mini mall that my accountant had taken me to back in 2017. Yeah, like a year after I closed my skin salon, I guess. Because he was also into vitamins and minerals and supplements and health, and he didn't really exercise, but he did ride his bike once in a while. And so we go in there, and he says, this is real olive oil. I'm like, okay, what do you mean? Well, you know, most of the stuff that we're buying is really not got much in it. Like essential oils, a lot of times when you go to buy them, they're only a small amount, maybe 10% in the bottle of essential oils, and then the rest of it is fillers. I don't know where, but this is what I've heard. So as opposed to paying $20 for a bottle, you know, you're paying $9, like frankincense. It's supposed to be very rare. How is it that I can buy a good sized bottle of it at the grocery store for $15 or so? It should be like $100. I don't know. So we went in there, and she had just like barrels and barrels of different flavors infused, right? So we got samples, and then he bought a bottle and I bought a bottle. And I think I got plain or raspberry. I don't know what I got. But it's been now, what, 4 years, 18, 19, 20, 21, probably 5 years since I've been back. And so I went in, and it's called Olive Destination. This is 100% olive oil, and she does have a website. Okay, so I went in and she said, hello, what are you looking for? And I said, garlic infused, because I take a piece of garlic and I put it in a glass bottle and I pour what I think is Chef Super Duper Awesome pure 100% virgin olive oil, which I don't know what it is now. She said, no, there really isn't any on the market. And she said, I've tested a lot of them, and I've tested Rachel Ray, and I've tested Paul Newman, and there's no olive oil. Now, I don't know what she means by no olive oil, guys. Maybe it's 5% or 10% or 1 tablespoon. And God, I don't want to know what the rest of it is. But she says, I contract with vineyards, and these are real olive oil. And but she said, my bottles, my oil, this and that, me, my. And I said, are you the owner? And she said, yes, I am. And she kind of seemed like she was a little bit bitter, you know, hurting, grieving, sad, lonely. Yes, I am. And I said, oh, I've read your bio, because my accountant showed me, here's her information, you know, on the brochure, and read the bio. And the clerk there had said, yes, she was sick with an autoimmune disorder, and she started taking a shot of olive oil in the morning on an empty stomach. And I don't know when, but at some point she got much, much better. I hesitate to use the word cured, but she was so blown away. And it said in the brochure that she was in the banking industry and finance. And so she found a way to start this business. I guess that was kind of something that she helped people do. She knew about that stuff for other people. And so she finally decided, well, I found something, you know, and I'm going to do this for me and for other people as well. So this one is infused with garlic. This was $13 a bottle, but you know what, guys? If we have to find a way to live smaller and more meagerly, but in a safe place, you know, like I don't want to be in a campground with a bunch of transients. I got to be careful about where I go this time. I don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of young people who are emotionally underdeveloped and talk at the tippy top of their voice, or yell across the apartment to someone, you know, or have loud parties. And management says, well, if it's before 9, we can't tell people that they can't celebrate. Well, he did it before the Super Bowl, and then he had a Super Bowl party. I'm out of here. Oh my God. So anyway, this is going to be my last apartment, I swear. And, but you know, food. The price of food will probably come down. They're trying to make inflation come back down to 2%. But in the meantime, you know, it's very high. And if we can get more and more educated, I know there's a doctor that's got a supplement that I want to buy. He said he found out that his green goddess dressing was not organic, and it wasn't made by the company that has the label on it. And I'll be getting to that in a minute. So, yeah, olive oil is one thing that they can get away with saying if there's just a percentage on there, or they bought it from somebody else and stick a label on it and call it natural, or buy a license and call it organic. That, you know, you got to taste the difference. Now, I haven't tasted it yet. It's been a long time. I'm sure I did taste the difference. But I still believe there was some good out there in the world. And that if it said Chef Super Duper Awesome, 100% pure virgin olive oil, maybe this is the bottle that's real 100% pure olive oil. You know, or Paul Newman, or Rachel Ray. I mean, come on. I would not want to think that my company was doing that just to make a buck. I would say, just forget it. You know, come on. Well, I'm not putting, if we can't afford to put the real thing in there, what are we doing? So I started chit-chatting because I've been taking it easy. We've been snowed in, the sun was out, so I went out. And I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed because I've reduced my expenses, and I'm not worried so much about any stuff at the moment. So I was chit-chatting, and I was kind of wondering, you know, why does she seem so unhappy, quite frankly? And she said, well, I don't like doctors and this and that. And I said, well, I have a doctor now that I really like. She's recommended a really good probiotic for me. It's refrigerated. It has a high amount of the strain in it. And that's the one thing I could never figure out. How often do I take a probiotic? How much do I need in there? You know, how many billions of whatever? And then does it need to be refrigerated? Because in the past, when I really had issues, I've gone to the health food store and they've sent me to the refrigerated section where I got a amber bottle of refrigerated probiotic liquid with like 50 billion, whatever you call it, in there. And within like a day or two, I was feeling better. And by the end of the week, much, much better. And then the bottle was gone. And so I began to think maybe this is something I should have. But that's one thing that I have not been able to research and really find the proper answer. So she said, oh, and then I said, and she's also told me about using coconut oil for my sensitive areas of my body. Let's put it that way. And she said, oh, well, you know, that stuff is not real either in the store. It's not real coconut oil. I said, well, I buy organic. You know, I'm on an organic kick now, and I'm buying more and more things that are organic. And she said, well, they can buy a license and just slap a label on there that says organic. And I'm like, oh, I want to throw up, but I'm afraid I'll hit the bottle. You know, oh, damn it. So she said, you need to buy coconut oil that's from the Philippines or the internet, and they have they don't put a bunch of chemicals in it, and they don't process it in the wrong way. And I looked, and she either pointed to it or I saw it, and she said, I have coconut. I said, you do? You have that here? She said, yes, I order from this company in the Philippines. And you can see the difference. But she said, let me ask you this, when you use yours, does it melt right away, or do you have to work it in to melt it? I said, I have to work it in to melt it. You would think when I put it on my body immediately, it would start to melt, but it doesn't. And she said, this melts right away, and if you look here, can you see it's kind of shiny? It's got like bumps. This one is more white and it looks more waxy, to tell you the truth. It's definitely almost like a candle wax to me. And so she took this teeny tiny bit with a little plastic spoon. She said, you only need a little bit. And she went like that. And I put it on my ring finger, and it started to melt immediately. Can you see that? And then I put it on my arm, and it just melted right in, and there's really no fragrance. She said anything you buy that says natural or organic, has a fragrance to it, has added fragrance to it. And unless you know it's essential oil, you know, don't be putting that on sensitive areas of your body, ladies, thinking that you're doing good. Because when I take this and I go to put it on my sensitive area, it does not melt right away. And I'm in the shower, you know, and I'm putting it on, and I'm having to okay, you know, it's like, well, is it so cold or what? Because it just does not melt right away, and I have to keep working it and working it. So this I'm going to save for, I don't know what, I might put a wick in it and just burn it like a candle. I asked her, well, what do I do with what I got now? She said, I don't know. But I'm not going to use any more olive oil from anywhere anymore unless I know I can go to her website, or she can recommend somebody else if she's out of the infusion that I want, because she has like 20 different infusions. Don't ask me how. I don't know what they all are. You'll have to go to the website and see. But you know, some people use them just for dipping oil. And so if you want some other flavor in there, like onion or parsley or oregano, or she's even got mango. I saw mango infused. So yeah, we shouldn't be using or cooking that stuff to put in our bodies. And then this one, it's on her website, I'm sure, the Santa Maria. It says 100% virgin coconut oil, and says said something about cold pressed, and she said no, they're not. That's not the same thing as this is cold processed. And I said, oh, cold pressed. She said, nope, that's not the same thing. Cold pressed, it's not the same as cold processed. They can, I guess she said, they can warm the stuff that they call is cold pressed. But cold processed doesn't use any heat, and it says here, I can't see, AMH method, no heat. You see that? And so she had one jar for $19. This is a heavy jar, 8 fluid ounces. And you can save the jar, you know, and put stuff in it. Or 2 for $13. Buy one for $13, get another one free. So I got 2 for $13 something plus tax, which is what? About $7 a jar. That's a lot. So I feel good to cook with this instead of butter. And of course, put it on my body. And then I was putting it on my belly and wrapping myself with saran wrap before I go to the fitness room to help me sweat off, you know, some of the toxins. And it does work, you know, sweating helps you to eliminate some of that water retention. And that's what I have a lot of, I've learned. So that's basically all I wanted to talk about today. If you know about this, wonderful. And if you don't, and if you've learned something helpful, we just have to find, it's a process. You know, it's been a process for me since I lost my gallbladder, of how to buy things that are better, or eat better rather, you know, eat more salad, eat some salad every day. Put tuna on salad, not always on bread. And then I eat brown bread and I eat brown rice. I really don't hardly eat anything anymore that's white because it's been bleached of its nutrients. So yeah, if I do get unbleached flour, it's enriched, it's still kind of white, but I try to get totally unbleached or all natural, you know, brown flour for my cooking. And yeah, it's been a journey of just a lot of things that I've had to, over the years, slowly add into my diet. And now we have local farmers that do provide a lot of things during the winter, but then there's some other crops, some other vegetables that nobody grows around here this time of year, and they have to bring them in from other states. So I'm adding more organic vegetables. I'm buying, well, there's a list. Look it up. There's a dirty dozen and there's a mean clean. So there's some that you don't have to buy organic, and there's others that they recommend you buy organic. So that's pretty much all that I have to say for today. I did want to mention in another video, I guess, I know I'm talking a lot about astrology, but like I've said, it's become more and more clear to me that that is our contract with the Creator, and that is, it states right in there who we are, what we came here to do. When my son was a teenager, he'd ask that's the same question every teenager asks, right? But he'd ask it every day. What's the point? What's the point? We get up, we do this, we do that, we go to bed, and we get up, we do it all over again. What's the point? His question was, why am I here? Now, I didn't know how to sit down and do his chart. My mother sent off to have mine done when I was a young girl so she could understand me. Bless her heart. Thank goodness she did that. That is another way for parents to, figure out who their children are and why they are here, and help them when they become teenagers. Come here, look, we can read this. So I'm learning how to read it better. I've been taking a free online course for sidereal astrology. I get 2 videos almost every day. And I'm learning to use like keywords, which I've kind of done that in the past anyway. Saturn is the structure, it's the builder. The moon is your feelings. The rising is your true self. And this is where I had a dream where I was going to be given a second chance to live my life over again, this time as myself. So I don't yet quite know what that means, except that I really am glad to know my rising is Pisces, because it really makes sense. Jupiter is my chart ruler, as well as the ruler of Pisces, which is the spiritual or the teacher. And when you combine that with Pisces, it's the spiritual teacher. I don't know if I'm ever going to make money at that, guys, so I don't really know how that's going to work in my life. I have lots of other interests. That's, other things too that Sagittarius relates to. And Venus and Leo. So, becoming a licensed esthetician was another thing. But whatever it is that I might set my mind to do, I study and I learn so that I can disseminate the information from experience. So yeah, that is why, I'm going to probably be making more videos about the magics for the week, and then I'll talk about the energies going on in the heavens and what you might want to gear your magics towards that week. Because there's no sense us trying to burn a candle for money if this week it's really all about getting in touch with your intuition and finding out some other purpose that we should be working on. If this is a good time for us to be working and saving and not necessarily investing. So I'll do my best to try to present magics for the week. And of course, this goes beyond just looking at the phase of the moon. Moon transits you want to look at, as well as what else might be going on. But meditating and learning to be quiet is really the foundation, because then you're going to be able to feel and know and hear from your natal chart what it is you're supposed to be doing next. It's when we don't listen that we get off track and we have, some problems that we might not have had otherwise. Just because I get excited about this and that doesn't mean I should take the little bit of money I have saved right now and go open a Shopify store, because that might not work. I think right now I need to focus on my video course for Dream Recall, and talking about health and my health and beauty obsessions and nutrition and what I'm learning, and sharing that. That's a big part of Sagittarius as well. So that's it for this video. Well, 24 minutes already, 3 hours to get ready. So I hope you appreciate this and that it's helpful. I'm almost at 400 subscribers. Woo! So I think what I'm going to be doing now, because I only spend about an hour or so on each thing, I'll spend a couple of hours today making a Facebook page for my finger weaving projects. And when you put a like button on your Etsy store, if they hit the like button on your Etsy store, it's supposed to connect to your Facebook page, and then they would start getting news feeds about whatever it is you post about your products or your services for them on their phone. Okay, so and again, I still have bottles and I still have pendants. If anybody wants to get one, you can email me and you can pay me at PayPal for Casting Cauldron. And remember, you can always make a donation of $1 if that's all you want to do at PayPal me /Casting Cauldron, all one word. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the Sunday, and I will see you later.